Imagine a frozen continent as big as the United States and Mexico combined. That's Antarctica for you. Despite its enormity, the harsh sub-zero climate makes it one of the most uncharted territories on our planet. Think about it, it takes some serious gear and teamwork just to survive in this icy wilderness, but brave explorers aren't deterred. They press on with their missions, and when they do, they uncover incredible secrets that were hiding beneath the frozen surface. Buckle up, explorers. You won't believe what happened when legendary leader Ernest Shackleton took on the frozen wilderness of Antarctica. He uncovered a secret that would leave even him speechless. We're about to dive into the icy archives and reveal the mind-blowing truth behind Shackleton's Antarctic adventure, and it's an unsolved mystery no more. Buckle up, explorers. Let's dive into the incredible journey of Ernest Shackleton, a true pioneer of polar adventures. It all started back in 1901 when this fearless leader joined forces with Robert Falcon Scott on an epic quest to conquer the South Pole. Can you imagine being part of such an ambitious mission? Meet Scott, a no-nonsense leader who wore his determination like a badge, driven by an insatiable thirst for scientific discovery. His team respected his authority, but blindly following orders was about to become the first crack in their expedition's foundation. As it turns out, Scott's leadership style couldn't be more different from Shackleton's laid-back yet resilient approach, and these contrasting views would set off a chain reaction of challenges that would test them all. Imagine sailing through icy waters, braving hurricane-force winds, and enduring temperatures plummeting below 40 degrees Celsius. This was Sir Ernest Shackleton's reality as a seasoned merchant marine before he joined Robert Falcon Scott's perilous Antarctic expedition. But what he didn't expect was Scott's strict leadership style, clashing with Shackleton's own ideas on how to stay safe in the face of these extreme conditions. Imagine setting up camp on Antarctica's icy terrain during its brief summer. That's exactly what they did. But here's the thing, November 2 marked the start of a whole new set of challenges. As the sun shone bright in the sky, the team encountered an unexpected obstacle, polar glare so intense it could cause temporary blindness. And if that wasn't enough, the extreme cold triggered a cascade of problems, from gnawing hunger to painful frostbite and even debilitating sickness. Imagine being trapped in Antarctica with nothing but your worn-out clothes and a dwindling food supply. That was Shackleton's reality. His body paid the price, and he started coughing up blood, his health rapidly declining. By December 31st, after an exhausting trek of nearly 480 miles, Shackleton's condition reached a breaking point, forcing them to abandon their mission towards the South Pole. Imagine facing the harshest environment on Earth, Antarctica's brutal landscape where temperatures plummet and icy storms rage on. One explorer, driven by an unrelenting spirit, had hit rock bottom after 2 failed attempts to conquer its unforgiving terrain. He'd reached his limits, feeling shattered both physically and mentally. Yet, he refused to give up. His ultimate goal was to make history. But what truly mattered was the safety of his team. They came first in his courageous quest. Imagine being so close to a goal you've been working towards for ages, but then realizing your safety is at risk. Would you push forward or head back? Well, these adventurers didn't have that luxury. Nature kept moving, and so did they. In 1909, Robert E Peary from the US thought he'd conquered the North Pole, a monumental claim that made headlines worldwide. But here's what happened just 2 years later. Norwegian explorer Roald Amundsen made history by becoming the first person to successfully reach the South Pole in 1911. Ernest was hooked on the extreme adventure, and Antarctica wasn't giving up its secrets easily. He knew he had to come back, but this time, determination and planning were his new allies. He chose an unbeatable vessel, a sturdy ship that could handle even the wildest seas, preparing for the ultimate test of endurance out there in the vast, open waters. Meet Endurance, the unsinkable hero of the Antarctic. Built at Norway's prestigious Fram shipyard, this incredible vessel was forged with polar perfection in mind. Under the watchful eye of legendary master shipbuilder Christian Jacobsen, every detail was meticulously crafted to withstand the harshest ice conditions. A true marvel of maritime engineering. Get ready to meet one incredible vessel. Built in 1912, the ship, originally called Polaris, had a pretty cool purpose. It was meant to brave the harsh Arctic conditions in style. The brainchild of Sir William Mackenzie, this steam yacht was designed to take on epic adventures while treating its passengers like royalty. Get ready to step aboard the incredible Endurance. This remarkable ship had an entire crew's needs covered with 10 cozy passenger cabins, a massive dining area where everyone could share meals together, and even a fully equipped galley or kitchen to keep them well fed during their epic adventures. There was also a stylish smoking room for those who wanted to relax and unwind, a dark room for photography enthusiasts to develop their stunning shots, electric lighting to banish the darkness, and believe it or not, a tiny bathroom, because even in Antarctica, hygiene is key. But what truly set Endurance apart from other ships wasn't its impressive amenities, but its clever design that made it uniquely suited for the harsh polar environment. Meet this maritime marvel's super strong backbone. Imagine hull plates made from massive Norwegian fir planks up to 3 feet thick, layered with green heartwood for added toughness. The robust construction doesn't stop there. 4 solid oak pieces form the keel, adding an impressive 7 feet of unyielding strength. Plus, the ship's sides are fortified by double frames and a thickness ranging from 1.5 feet to 3 feet, making this vessel nearly indestructible. Imagine this epic ship slicing through icy waters like a hot knife through butter. Its front end, or bow, is the real MVP. Built to take on the toughest polar conditions head-on, the team behind it picked out each timber from a single mighty oak tree, carving and shaping them to fit the ship's unique curves perfectly. It's like they took one giant tree and turned it into an icy fortress, ready to conquer even the harshest Arctic seas. Get ready for a major contrast between these two explorers. The Endurance packed 3 massive masts, one with a square sail and 2 with foreign-style aft sails. This allowed it to switch between sailing and using steam power. Its 350 horsepower coal-powered engine was no slouch, clocking speeds of up to 10.2 knots. But here's where things get interesting, because the Endurance had one key difference compared to its rival Fram that would have a big impact on their Antarctic adventures. Let's dive into the distinct designs that made Fram and Endurance tick, or rather, stay afloat. Fram boasted an ingenious bowl-shaped bottom that cleverly allowed it to rise above crushing ice, like a natural icebreaker. On the other hand, Endurance was built with a different strategy in mind. It could withstand massive pressure from ice flows before finally cracking under the strain. Both ships had unique approaches, but their ultimate goal was the same: to conquer the harsh Antarctic seas. Here's a jaw-dropping twist. The Endurance was meant for 2 other explorers, but fate had other plans. Initially built for Adrian de Gerlach and Lars Christensen, things took a dramatic turn when financial struggles forced Gerlach out of the picture. But that wasn't all. Christensen faced an even bigger obstacle in selling this custom-built vessel, thanks to its one-of-a-kind design that just didn't appeal to everyone. In January 1914, Sir Ernest Shackleton scored a major deal. He bought his dream ship from Christensen for a whopping £14,000. But here's the thing, this was an epic discount for Christensen. It was way below market value. Still, Christensen didn't hesitate to support Shackleton's wild exploration dreams and even paid the deposit up front using his own wallet. Talk about believing in someone's vision. Let's dive into why this ship earned its iconic name, Endurance. The crew wanted a moniker that would reflect their values and get them pumped for the adventure ahead. They settled on Endurance, directly linked to the Shackleton family motto, Fortitudo in Contemptum Mundi, or fortitude against the contumely of the world, but we like to simplify it as by endurance we conquer. It's a bold statement, especially when you realize they were about to face some seriously harsh conditions. Get ready to embark on a thrilling journey with us as we dive into the epic tale of Endurance. On August 8, 1914, this fearless ship set off from Plymouth, England, heading straight for the distant shores of Buenos Aires, Argentina, under the skilled command of Frank Worsley. Meanwhile, expedition leader Ernest Shackleton stayed behind in Britain, wrapping up final preparations and scrambling to secure crucial funding. Little did he know that his leadership skills were about to be put to an ultimate test. The Endurance's maiden journey was all about testing its limits, literally. The innovative design meant there were unknowns, and they needed answers fast. Meanwhile, Shackleton set off on an even bigger adventure to Buenos Aires by steamboat. Can you imagine traveling that far back then? He caught up with the Endurance just a few days after it docked in Argentina's vibrant capital city. Buckle up and let's set sail. On October 26, 1914, the Endurance embarked from Buenos Aires, charting its course towards the last stop before taking on the ultimate adventure, Antarctica. Just 10 days later, on November 5th, this fearless vessel finally arrived at Grytviken, a bustling whaling station on South Georgia Island. The crew must have been itching to dive into their polar expedition, and now they were one step closer to making history. Buckle up, explorers. The real challenge for Endurance was just getting underway as it hit a massive wall of polar pack ice less than 48 hours into its journey from South Georgia. And let me tell you, this icy obstacle course slowed them down big time. Imagine being on an epic adventure, but every step takes forever. That's exactly what was happening as the ship Endurance pushed through thick ice, only making less than 30 miles progress per day for weeks. They were so close to their goal, Vosel Bay, just a 200-mile journey away by January 15, 1915, when disaster struck. They got trapped in massive pack ice right as a strong storm was brewing. Imagine being stuck in the middle of nowhere with no clear escape route. That's what happened to the crew of the Endurance. With no chance of breaking through the icy grip, they cleverly took shelter beneath a gigantic frozen mountain, an enormous grounded iceberg. For several days, this brave team slowly and meticulously maneuvered their ship into position, using the iceberg as their shield against the harsh Antarctic conditions. Fast forward to January 18th, a strong gale was rolling in and Endurance thought it had a clear path through the ice since the pack seemed to have shifted. However, Mother Nature loves an unexpected twist, and things quickly took a turn when this resilient ship found itself trapped by thick but soft brash ice that literally wrapped around its hull like a giant's vice. Get ready to feel like you're on the edge of Antarctica. A ferocious gale is bringing winds from the north that are blasting against the land for an incredible 6 days straight. As this powerful force pounds the Weddell Sea, it's pushing the ice toward the shore in a massive crush. By January 24th, the relentless wind has squeezed Endurance right into the epicenter of this icy squeeze, and it's not getting out anytime soon. Pinned down by harsh conditions, the team held their breaths as they waited desperately for a break in the storm, a southerly gust that would crack the icy grip and clear a path forward. But day after day, week after week, the ship remained stuck, making minimal headway against the unforgiving ice wall. Fast forward to August 1st, our ship is back in action, or so it seems. But hold on tight because just like that, it got stuck in the ice again and started rocking violently from side to side. The next few weeks were a real nail-biter as crushing pressure from the ice kept building up, leaving visible dents everywhere you looked. Then, just when things seemed hopeless, October rolled around and brought with it the first signs of hope. The ice was finally starting to crack. On October 14, 1915, Endurance made history by breaking free from the crushing grip of pack ice and floating in open water. But the team's relief was short-lived as they struggled to chart a course through the still shifting ice sheets. Just 4 days later, on October 18, things took an unexpected turn. The ship suddenly tilted precariously, then miraculously stabilized. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of their next major test. Imagine being stuck in the middle of the Antarctic Ocean with no rescue in sight. That's exactly what happened when a powerful storm hit the Endurance on October 24. The damage was so severe that just 4 days later, Sir Ernest Shackleton had to make an incredibly tough decision and abandon ship. But here's the thing. They didn't give up yet. Over the following days, the team tried desperately to save what they could from their sinking vessel. However, it soon became clear that it was a lost cause. And just when things couldn't get any worse, on November 21, another massive pressure wave came along and caused what was left of the ship to shift alarmingly. But here's the crazy part. Less than 60 seconds later, the Endurance slipped beneath the icy waters, vanishing without a single clue as to its final resting place. The crew was left shaken but still clinging to hope. Maybe the drifting ice would carry them towards safety and deliver them onto the shores of an untouched island. And then, 1 year after the initial disaster on April 1916, they finally made it to Elephant Island, exhausted but alive, having survived against all odds in Endurance's lifeboats. Imagine being stuck on a remote island with no food or shelter, and then hearing the sound of a ship's engine in the distance. It's like a mirage for the desperate survivors. That's exactly what happened to Shackleton's crew when, after 128 days of waiting, a rescue mission finally arrived at Elephant Island on August 30, 1916. But before that heroic rescue could take place, Shackleton and a small team had already set off from South Georgia in a daring bid for help. Aboard the James Caird, an adventurous journey to turn the tide of survival. Imagine being on a ship in one of the harshest environments on Earth, Antarctica. The extreme conditions were too much for it, so the crew was forced to give up and leave behind what they called home. This heart-wrenching decision also meant saying goodbye to some very special friends. Mr. Chippy, the beloved crew cat, and an entire pack of 60 sled dogs plus their adorable puppies. Unfortunately, these furry companions couldn't make it in this unforgiving landscape. They had to be sadly put down to avoid a painful death from starvation or exposure. Get ready to dive into history. On March 5, 2022, an incredible journey ended in triumph. The Endurance 22 expedition successfully discovered the legendary Endurance wreck deep within Antarctica's icy Weddell Sea. This remarkable find lies approximately 3.08 meters beneath the surface and, surprisingly, just a small distance away from where expedition leader Sir Ernest Shackleton's trusted navigator Frank Worsley predicted it would be. Imagine having a treasure map that leads you straight to an untouched piece of history. That's exactly what explorer Robert Ballard's meticulous records provided, making it easier to pinpoint the wreckage's location. And lucky for us, Antarctica's melting ice caps and cutting-edge tech allowed filmmakers to capture stunning visuals without disrupting the sight. revealing the shipwreck in its almost perfect, frozen time capsule state. The Uluburun shipwreck has been safeguarded and recognized as one of history's most remarkable underwater archaeological findings, boasting a wealth of intact wooden remnants. Now it's your turn. What did you think of Ernest's chilling account of staying alive against all odds? Share your thoughts in the comments.